Sunnyside is one of Denver's original neighborhoods. Founded in 1858, it is full of history and over the years has gone through some major transformations to make it the highly desirable neighborhood it is today. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Haarer, Denver area homes and neighborhoods expert. I'm also a local realtor, so if you have any questions about buying or selling homes in the Denver metro area, please reach out. My contact information is in the description below. Today, we are exploring one of Denver's original neighborhoods, Sunnyside, in the northwest part of the city. It's a corner of town with a diverse past from the Italian immigrants who came here to work on railroads in the 1800s, all the way to the heavy Hispanic influence that began in the early 1900s. This neighborhood has a ton of generations who have contributed to the rich culture that you still see here today. In the last decade or so, there have been some major transformations that has contributed to making this I would call it the more laid-back version of some of the nearby neighborhoods, like the upscale Lower Highland neighborhood or the buzzing Berkeley neighborhood. This has a little bit of a different feel for the northwest part of town, but still so much to offer. And like most of Denver, Sunnyside is not exempt from the increase in home prices. We'll talk about the different home types in just a bit, including this brand new build that we're in right now. But as always, within the Sunnyside neighborhood, we'll be exploring three major areas. One, the location and the transportation. Two, the main attractions to the area. Why do people actually want to move to the Sunnyside neighborhood? And three, of course, the area's real estate, both the types of homes and the cost of those homes. First, let's talk about the location. If you want to move to Sunnyside, you probably would like to have a decent dose of city living. This is a bustling neighborhood with lots of busy streets, of course some quieter pockets and lots of little parks, and we'll talk about that in just a bit, but it's a busy area. I think the biggest key to understanding Sunnyside is its proximity to downtown. If you want to be close to downtown Denver, if you want to be close to the sports venues, you want to go to a Nuggets game or an Avs game, you want to spend your summers at Coors Field watching the Rockies, this gives you easy access. If you work downtown, if you want a commute that's less than 10 minutes into the downtown area, Sunnyside is a great neighborhood for you. There's also really easy access to the area's highways. Of course, you have I-25 and I-70, which are the two largest highways in the state. I-25 runs north and south through the state. I-70 runs east and west into the mountains of Colorado. Very important if you are a skier, hiker, love the outdoors. You are just minutes away from the intersection of those two highways. So great, easy access. Now, in terms of transportation, like most of Denver, there is a bus system. You can certainly access that. It is a walkable neighborhood. You can get to lots of the local shops and restaurants pretty easily on foot. There's a light rail station on the east side of town at 41st and Fox, but the vast majority of people in Sunnyside are probably popping in their cars to get to different parts of town. Okay, let's talk about the main attractions. Why do people actually want to move to Sunnyside? Remember that rich culture I was telling you about? That certainly plays a role in this neighborhood. You have lots of family-run Mexican restaurants opening their doors for many, many years in this neighborhood. Some excellent food. That plays a role. You also have neighborhood-run music festivals. There's a free music festival that the Sunnyside neighborhood puts on for free every single year. Everybody comes out to the park in the middle of summer and enjoys a bunch of different musical acts. I mentioned the Mexican food, but there's also some Italian food up here specifically, and you can't really talk about Sunnyside without mentioning it. Gaetano's on 38th Avenue. That's the southern border of the Sunnyside neighborhood. Gaetano's is a staple in Denver. It has been around for many, many years and was once owned by an Italian crime family that spent a lot of time up in northwest Denver. Beyond that history, there are some newer restaurants that are getting a ton of attention, specifically Wolf's Tailor. This just won a Michelin star in the first year that the Michelin Guide came to Denver. It's a tasting menu, highly acclaimed, haven't been, but heard some absolutely incredible things. That is one of the anchors of the Sunnyside neighborhood. There are also a number of more casual hangouts. I'm talking about breweries, lots of coffee shops. Coffee shops are very popular in Sunnyside. There are 2 or 3 I can think of right now that are a great spot to go in, knock out a couple hours of work, and they're dotted in several different places in the Sunnyside neighborhood. Now, while Sunnyside and much of Northwest Denver is quite dense, lots of homes and restaurants close to each other, there are several parks here. Just a few that you can actually get out of your car, enjoy the open space, let the dog run, have the kids play. There's that here too. So while yes, you do have to like a good dose of city living to be in Sunnyside with the busier streets and more urban feel, there are some pocket parks where you can actually go and enjoy some outdoor space. Chaffee Park is where the annual music festival is, and most culturally significant is La Raza Park, which was a significant gathering place for leaders of the Chicano movement in the 60s and 70s. Again, lots of history and culture in Sunnyside. All right, last but not least, the real estate. One of the reasons I love some of these older Denver neighborhoods is the original structures, original architecture and homes that many of them are still in absolutely wonderful shape. Some of them have gone through remodels, some have been completely gutted to open up the home for more modern living, but the exteriors, the brick bungalows and the Tudors, that kind of nostalgic feel of Denver, in some of these original neighborhoods, it's still very much here. So these older homes, the brick bungalows or brick Tudors, there are quite a few single level townhomes or duplexes. They range anywhere from about 1,000 to 2,500 square feet roughly. On the low end, you can find these types of homes starting in the $500,000 range. Those will be smaller homes and will likely need a little bit of work to bring it up to modern living standards, unless it's already been gutted, in which case you can expect to pay in the $800 to $1.2 million range if it's been completely remodeled and it's in great shape. And it's on the larger size of that square footage scale. So lots of those homes are available on an annual basis, those original Denver homes with the original Denver character, but what has become a big new part of Sunnyside's identity are the new builds, the new construction homes, and there have been many of those that have gone up in recent years. We're seeing lots of multifamily projects in the area to maximize the square footage of the dense area of the lot sizes. So they want to get as many homes as possible because frankly, we need as many homes as possible to support the growth in the city. So you're seeing lots of townhomes and duplexes going up in the area, ranging in price points. We'll talk about the prices in a second, but I guess the con of that is you don't have huge yard spaces like you might in some of the more remote parts of the Denver metro area. You can find some smaller 2-bedroom condos in the Sunnyside neighborhood that actually start in the mid 400,000s, which is a decent price point for our city and given the growth that we've seen in this area. There are also a few single-family homes being built here, maximizing the lot size. We actually just did a tour of one, I'll link that below, and those can range anywhere from $1 million all the way up to 1.5, 1.6, depending on a wide variety of factors. Of course, the size, square footage, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, what street you're on can have an effect in the Sunnyside neighborhood, and a number of other factors. So that's the gist of the Sunnyside neighborhood. I hope this helped get you a better understanding of what to expect when you tour around, hang out, or maybe even move to this area. If you have questions about this neighborhood specifically or others that I have or haven't done any videos on, reach out. My contact information is below. I'll see you on the next video.